Today we'll delving into the dark and twisted minds of some of the most notorious killers in history. From the chilling confessions to the haunting expressions on their faces, we'll give you an inside look at what it's like to face the ultimate punishment for their crimes. This is not for the faint of heart, as we'll be delving into some of the most gruesome and disturbing details of their crimes. However, we believe it's important to understand the complex psychology behind these individuals and the impact of their actions on society. In today's video, we'll analyze the 5 most noteworthy criminals who went insane upon learning their sentences. Some of them are crazy, but I'm not sure what would be the right response given the situation. Number 5. Acceptance, according to some, is the first step on the path to a life sentence. Michael Marion, on the other hand, wasn't having it. He was convicted guilty of setting fire and given a prison term of 7 to 21 years. Immediately, Marion covered his mouth with his hands in what at first glance looked to be utter disbelief. Instead, Marion did a full-on James Bond villain stunt, and instead of reacting in horror, he quickly slipped a cyanide pill into his mouth. As all of this was being recorded on video in a courtroom in Phoenix, Arizona, he passed just a short time later. Marion had previously attempted to use a get-out-of-jail-free card. The former Wall Street trader decided to set his home on fire to solve the issue of being behind in his mortgage payments. Number 4. Shondell Jackson, 19, was found guilty of killing Nathan Potter, a student at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee in robbing him. Potter was on his way back to his flat when Jackson tried to rob him and killed him. Jackson spent the whole trial with neither regret nor sadness, and on multiple instances, he even grinned at the victim's relatives. He started swearing at the judge and lost control of himself after receiving a life sentence without the possibility of release. Officers had to use pepper spray on him and hold him before escorting him out of the courtroom. As if the victim's family hadn't already endured enough grief over the death of their son, Jackson's relatives started flinging vile remarks at them, making the situation worse. Number 3. Juan Rodriguez didn't get the message on how to ask for leniency from the court. Rodriguez does not choose to sob, apologize, beg, or any combination of the 3. He vowed to murder the judge in the courtroom while on trial for stabbing a nurse at his mental health institution if he wasn't allowed to leave prison in time for Rosh Hashanah. Rodriguez did not hold back and uttered the following threats at the judge. "Pay attention to what I have to say. I'm going to effing murder you if you don't get me out of here," Rodriguez yelled. "I'm Jewish. If you don't let me go, I'm going to effing kill you. Okay, I'm done. The cook is a rabbi." Rodriguez simply continued talking in case the judge wasn't understanding what he was saying. "What do you desire? What makes you happy? What do you need of me?" Rodriguez cried out. "How can I reach you? I'm going to effing murder you if you don't let me leave this place." Number 2. Daniel David. After fatally hurting an 81-year-old lady during a home invasion, Moses was given a life sentence. Moses looked to have no regrets and didn't even seem disturbed throughout this trial, as he often fell asleep and was seen yawning. Moses was a youngster when the crime occurred. Thus, an appeal for a reduced punishment was filed afterward in the hope that the court would take Moses' poor background and youth into account before giving him a life sentence. The judge said that he deserved to spend the rest of his life in prison, and I couldn't agree more. He had done nothing to express regret or make an attempt to change his ways. Number 1. When TJ Lane started shooting at his classmates, he was just 17 years old. 3 of the pupils were killed and 3 more were injured. He entered a plea of guilty to every charge, but during the whole trial, as he listened to the statements of the parents whose children he had killed, he grinned and laughed. He would flick them off after they had done speaking, cursing at them and displaying no remorse for his conduct. Even worse, Lane, another prisoner, managed to escape by building a makeshift ladder, but they were luckily apprehended within 24 hours. He's now incarcerated in a super maximum security facility in Youngstown, Ohio, where he will spend the remainder of his depraved life. While it can be difficult to empathize with individuals who have committed such heinous crimes, it's important to remember that they're still human beings. The death penalty is a controversial and divisive issue, and we encourage you to continue the conversation and consider the various perspectives and arguments surrounding it. We hope that this video has sparked your curiosity and encouraged you to learn more about the criminal justice system and the people it impacts. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to share them below. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you again soon on our channel.